This presentation is on some next steps that you can take after this class. The first line is the best line. Build, build, build. The way you're really going to learn this stuff and use this stuff is to just build websites over and over again. Build them for yourself, for some small business, for a little bit of money maybe. Do a small website for your company. There are sites like elance.com and other sites on the web that have people bid on small PHP jobs. I'm of the mind that getting a resume listing to show experience and getting a reference initially are more important than money if you're looking for work to break into PHP. Employers look for experience more than education even. So build as many things as you can that you can legitimately put on a resume, and you'll have a better shot at getting employed doing this stuff. There are a lot of books out there. Online books, ebooks, real books, doesn't matter. Use the stuff, learn a little bit more, and use them to build, because running into errors is really the way to learn. I like to say that I find my errors very quickly because they're old friends. I've met them so many times. So that's the way you want to get. You want to be able to develop quicker by recognizing errors and moving on very quickly to resolve them. Also, remember these sites. Of course, I've mentioned them several times. The php.net is invaluable. And mysql.com can be of a great help as well. Learn more web software. In fact, I'm going to talk about that. The whole concept of Ajax, which we covered at the end of the class, it's really just a collection of other tools. Ajax really isn't a piece of software, of course. It stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Asynchronous meaning that we don't have to wait for a response before moving on with our application. But it's really so much more than XML. In fact, I dare say most of the Ajax programming that I do, I don't even use XML. I mentioned as we covered in class that we brought things back as text and process it that way, but a special form of text is known as JSON, JavaScript Object Notation, and it can be processed with a JavaScript eval statement. That's something worth looking into. That's used in the marketplace as well. So you need to become better at XML, not just understanding how it's laid out, but how to use functions in JavaScript to parse it and to deal with it, how to navigate up and down the XML tree, which is very much like the DOM tree that we'll get into at the end here. JavaScript, keep learning more about that, learning more about CSS styling. You don't have to become a great designer, but as you've seen in this class, we're able to cover some of the more practical things about how to use the box model to place divisions in the page and to move things around. DHTML, that's really just dynamic HTML, and it's kind of a combination of these sorts of things. You know, when we passed our cursor over a realtor and we got a little pop-up box with more information, that's dynamic HTML. Obviously, you're learning PHP. You can learn it more. You can learn Java as well, especially server-side Java. Java 2EE is the collection of Java products or Java classes and packages that represent their server-side solutions. It's much more complex than PHP, but it is used out in the marketplace. Microsoft's ASP is used as well. Database. Now, we covered MySQL here, but out in the real world, sometimes people use things like Oracle. They might use Sybase, other databases. Fortunately, once you learn one brand of SQL, you just about know all the brands because SQL really is a standard. It's not a piece of software, and all of the different vendors try to code to that standard, more or less. So it's usually not that hard to switch from one vendor to the other. One thing I didn't go into deeply here is this last item called DOM methods and properties. That's a very important subject in web design, and you need to understand how to deal with that both in JavaScript and possibly even PHP as well, writing out JavaScript. Learn all of them. You'll be more valuable in the marketplace. Here's some books. This is just a listing of books that I use. I can't test that they're better or worse than any other book. I've found them useful. A couple of JavaScript books there at the top. PHP and MySQL web development. That has got a lot of advanced topics in the later chapters. The beginning stuff you learned here, but if you look at the last 2/3 of the book, there are a lot of specialized topics that may be of use to you, so you might want to peruse that book somewhere and see if it's something you'd like to get. I use the Ajax Bible to do some of my basic Ajax programming that you learned here. Another MySQL book, and the one at the bottom is really one of the gold standards for what's called data modeling, which is another word really for database design. how you lay out tables with entity relationship approach and normalization guidelines. And it goes way beyond that. It's exceptionally well written, and I will give that one a hearty recommendation if you're interested in getting deeper into data modeling and database design. Well, here we are at the end. The class is officially over. Keep working, keep studying. Feel free to contact me online, and if I can help you out, I will. Good luck, and we'll see you online.